These security guarantees, as agreed upon then, must be based on the principle of the indivisibility of security and the principle that no country has the right to strengthen its own security at the expense of others. If any part of Ukraine becomes the territory where so-called peacekeepers are deployed, and if Western security guarantees aimed against the Russian Federation apply to that part of Ukraine, the former Ukraine, this territory, this will mean only one thing, I repeat, that the West will have occupied Ukraine. Europe is clearly trying, quite brazenly, to carve out a place for itself at the negotiating table, although from its position of revanchism, of inflicting a strategic defeat on Russia, there is, of course, no place at the negotiating table. It is clear that both the Europeans and the Ukrainian regime are trying to persuade US President Donald Trump to abandon peacekeeping efforts and return to confrontation with Russia, essentially turning former US President Joe Biden's war into Trump's. It's perfectly clear that many European leaders, including Paris, Berlin, London, and even Brussels, both EU and NATO, are concerned about this. And they, of course, want to derail the peace process.
Я уже сказал, 10 тысяч образцов техники различные, из них.
The purpose of the exercises is to practice all the necessary elements for the unconditional protection of sovereignty and territorial integrity, protection from any aggression of the Union State. The event is taking place at 41 training grounds. 100,000 servicemen are participating. 25 foreign delegations have arrived to participate in the events of the exercises, Zapad 2025, of which 16 states sent representatives, and 6 sent military contingents to participate in the events within the framework of the strategic exercise. So I'd like to thank you for your presence and express the hope that today's event with your participation will strengthen our interaction. You have seen how the Russian army builds its work based on the experience of using the armed forces in a modern armed conflict.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.